What if the secret to completely upending the email marketing world wasn't cooked up in some high-tech lab, but was discovered in a tangerine tree? It sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, today we're diving into this incredible philosophy of abundance and how it's taking on an entire system that was built on the exact opposite, scarcity. Okay, so it all kicks off with this guy, Evangelos Taxiarchis. And you've got to hear this. His name, in Greek, literally translates to messenger of good news. He felt like that was his destiny from day one, and this isn't just some fun fact, It's really the key to understanding the entire mission he was about to go on. So, where did this big mission even come from? Well, it wasn't from a business school or some startup incubator. Nope. It came from a memory from his childhood back in Greece, sitting high up in the branches of a tangerine tree.
Picture this. He's a young kid, maybe 13, and he's climbing this tree to get some fruit. When he gets to the top, he looks around and sees branches that are so packed with tangerines, some of them are literally breaking under the weight. And down on the ground, just dozens and dozens more scattered everywhere. Now, most of us would see that and think, what a waste. But for him, it was a complete revelation. See, in that one moment, it just clicked for him. Nature doesn't hold back. It just gives and gives, without ever asking if you're worthy or not. That tree, it was making more than enough for everybody, for the farmer, for the animals, even for the soil below. And that became the absolute foundation of his philosophy. Real wealth isn't about what you can keep, it's about what you can give away.
And from just watching that one tree, he pulled out these 5 core principles. He saw consistency, how nature just shows up season after season. Persistence, how a tree keeps growing even after its branches break. Reproduction, the wild idea that one single seed can eventually become a whole orchard. Distribution, food that's just given away freely. And finally, recycling, where anything that falls just becomes fuel for the next cycle. For him, this was the blueprint for how things should work.
All right, so you've got this beautiful idea of abundance just baked into who he is. And then Evangelos steps into the world of email marketing. And what does he find? An industry that is running on the complete, total opposite principle, scarcity.
And honestly, it drove him nuts. He looked around and saw these traditional email service providers, or ESPs, and realized they were basically set up to punish you for succeeding. They'd limit how many contacts you could have, they'd hike up the price the second you started to grow, and you were stuck on their platform with zero real control. This was the fundamental problem for him. These companies were taking this amazing tool for connection and communication, and they were turning it into a system of control. In a digital world where there's no reason for things to be scarce, they were manufacturing it.
So it really breaks down into 2 totally different ways of thinking. Over on the left, you've got the scarcity model. That's what most of us are used to. It's all about limits, penalties, and renting. But on the right, that was his vision of an abundance model. No artificial limits, total freedom to scale, and the big one, private infrastructure that you actually truly own.
This clash, this frustration, it really only led to one possible conclusion. If the tool he needed didn't exist, well, he was just going to have to build it himself. And just like that, No Limit Emails was born. But he didn't even think of it as just another company. He called it his Freedom Project. He funded the whole thing himself with one simple mission: to build a system that empowers people instead of trapping them.
And this is what that philosophy looks like when you turn it into software. It's a platform built from the ground up, not just for sending emails, but for totally unrestricted communication. It's about putting the power back in your hands where it belongs.
So how does it actually work? Well, it's pretty simple. It really comes down to 3 things. First, it's all built on your own private infrastructure, on your domain. You own it. End of story. Second, it's powered by Metatic, which is this massive, powerful open source tool, so it's always getting better. And when you combine ownership with open source power, what do you get? Total freedom. No more limits.
Okay, but let's be real. Does a nice philosophy about abundance actually mean anything in the real world? This is where the story gets really good. Because the proof? Well, the proof is in the price tag.
All right, check this out. Let's say you have a list of 250,000 contacts. With big names like Klaviyo or MailerLite, you're looking at paying over $1,200, maybe even close to $2,000 every single month. Now, look at the price for No Limit Email's private model. It's a flat $397 for unlimited contacts. The difference is it's absolutely staggering.
And just to put that into perspective for a minute, for a business that's growing, that's over $20,000 in savings every single year. That's not just a little discount, that's serious money you can put back into your business.
But this goes so much deeper than just the cost. It's about ownership. When you're renting on a shared platform, your reputation can get dinged because of what other people are doing. The platform owns your data. And a lot of times, every email you send is also building their brand. With your own infrastructure, you control everything: your reputation, your data, and your brand.
And you can literally see this difference in how customers feel. Just look at Trustpilot. No Limit Emails is sitting at a 4.4-star rating. A huge competitor like Klaviyo, 2.4 stars. I mean, people can feel the difference between being empowered and being, well, controlled.
So, let's bring this all home. What's the one big thing you should take away from this whole story? Why does this idea of ownership matter so much?
It really just boils down to this one powerful idea. Are you building your business on land that you own or on land that you're just renting? Because when you're on rented land, the landlord can change the rules, they can jack up the rent, or they can even decide to kick you out whenever they feel like it.
So at the end of the day, what this model gives you is true email freedom. You have control over your own stuff. You have scalability so you can grow without being afraid of the bill. You've got a predictable cost that saves you a fortune, and every single email you send is building your brand, not someone else's. It's that philosophy of abundance made real.
And that really leads us to the final question, the one you have to ask yourself. When you look at your own business, your own projects, are you building on your own land, or are you just renting space on someone else's? Thanks for tuning in.